Hello, good evening, Excellencies, Ministers, Diplomats, Honorable Chairman, Mr. Baibas Altundas, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you to International Webinar Session being organized by World Angels Investment Forum and Country Chair United Arab Emirates for the World Investors Week 2023. It's an honor for me to chair this session and our keynote speech, which begins with Mr. Massimo, WBAF High Commissioner, United Arab Emirates, Mr. Roberto Crozzi, former Managing Director of Microsoft Middle East and Director of Public Investment, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Ms. Allison from Harvard University, and Ms. Imad, the Director of Community Services and Industry Engagement at the Office of the Scientific Research and Community Services, United Arab Emirates. We have two roundtable sessions as well. Now, I wish to present a video message of the Executive Chairman, Mr. Baibas Altundas.
Dear presidents, dear ministers, dear country chairs, and dear participants. Business education and entrepreneurship education have come a long way in the past 2 decades. The mindset of students of entrepreneurship has changed as well and will continue to evolve. More and more business organizations are adopting an entrepreneurial spirit. Even conservative businesses are making it a priority to boost their entrepreneurial energies and promote a culture of creativity and innovation. Most innovative business ideas come from young people. Current and future entrepreneurs and investors need specialized knowledge and a highly complex set of skills to move innovative ideas into the market and ensure they succeed. All this suggests that it is time for higher education institutions to take on a new role. They need to revisit their current business curricula and expand their offerings beyond the traditional concept of business education into a wider framework that bundles education, incubation, mentoring, technology transfer, and research and development. With this in mind, the stakeholders of the World Business Angel Investors Week have agreed on the theme for this year's week, which will now take place until 25th of June as global collaboration with higher education to increase financial inclusion. The week aims to contribute to the development of skills and expertise of students and faculty members alike, assist in the digital transformation of higher education institutions, and foster the kind of creative thinking that leads to innovation and eventual success in the ever-changing market environment of the 21st century. During this special week, all stakeholders and participants in the week's events will pause to reflect on their fast-paced journey to analyze why business transformation is needed and how transformation will support entrepreneurship and innovation that will boost economies, and to reiterate how entrepreneurial ecosystems can create more jobs, more wealth, and for more social justice in cooperation with key players in early-stage equity markets in the post-pandemic economy. World Business Angel Investors Week 2023 will feature roundtables that will provide a platform for entrepreneurs, angel investors, and academicians to explore the processes startups will go through in post-pandemic times. The week will also include discussions on the ongoing challenges entrepreneurial ventures face in integrating the basic knowledge of strategic planning and will consider creative ways to overcome the challenges. I would like to thank in advance all the stakeholders and partners who will be contributing to the World Business Angel Investors Week 2023. They will be highlighting the importance of higher education to increase financial inclusion, the theme of this year's event. I believe to grow and thrive in a post-pandemic world, Swift business transformation into a pandemic-proof organizational model is vital if we are to ensure the sustainability of world economies in the new normal. I would like to thank the organizing committee and the colleagues who will be taking roles as country chairs, global partners, keynote speakers, and panel discussion members. Their combined efforts will create value for the world startup economies, not only during this week, but in the future as well. They will focus on harnessing the collective knowledge of the world's most influential women leaders, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and artists, with a view to addressing critical issues of early-stage equity markets in the new normal. The week will also be a great platform from which to campaign for solutions to such critical issues and other worldwide concerns at the United Nations, the European, and in G20 countries. The ultimate goal of all of the week's keynotes, discussions, presentations, and workshops is to agree on a common roadmap for entrepreneurs, startups, and SMEs that will enable them to emerge from this pandemic period even stronger than they were before. We encourage all faculty members of higher education, angel investors, entrepreneurs, and policymakers to explore the merits of the World Business Angel Investors Week and take full advantage of its many benefits. I am confident that each participant in World Business Angel Investors Week will benefit from the collaborative ideas, know-how exchange, training programs, and workshops, and global networking opportunities that are offered. I believe that by working together across borders with a common vision and smart dynamics in mind, we are well placed to bring about positive change in global economy. I also want to invite all of you to join the World Congress of Angel Investors 2023, which will be in Durban of South Africa next November. I'm wishing you great success in your future endeavors, and thank you very much for listening to me. All the best.
Thank you, Mr. Baybas. The next session, we feature the keynote speeches of our honorable and distinguished speakers. The first keynote speaker is His Excellency Mr. Massimo. A few words about Mr. Massimo. Mr. Massimo is High Commissioner of WBAF United Arab Emirates, an award-winning experienced CEO with a demonstrated history of working in both the government as well as the private sector. Ranked one of the top 100 CEO in the Middle East by Forbes 2022 and 13 in the Forbes Middle East 2019 list. Top 50 international CEOs leading local companies. On December 19, 2017, Massimo was appointed as a founder and CEO of Etihad Credit Bureau Credit Insurance in the United Arab Emirates Federal Government Export Credit Company by the company's board of directors, chaired by the late His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the world's longest serving finance minister and deputy ruler of United Arab Emirates. With the due respect, now I wish to invite Mr. Massimo, the High Commissioner of WBAF, to deliver the keynote speech.
Thank you very much, Harris, for the introduction. Your Excellencies and esteemed guests of the WBAF, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everybody. Firstly, I would like to extend my congratulations to Baybars Atuntas, the Executive Chairman of the World Business Angel Forum, for the continued success of the G20 affiliate business platform, and thank him for the speaking invitation. I would also thank Harris for our session chair for this year, for his great efforts to put into the organization and the UAE session. I would like also to thank all the speakers which are here with us, starting from Ellison, Ms. Pega, Roberto, and Dr. Simjit. This is your contribution. It's really the strength of this platform, and sharing knowledge is the big support we can provide already following the theme of this year. So sharing our knowledge, our expertise will make more and more inclusive in the understanding and the education of course, the future generation. So really thank you all of you for being here today. So as an High Commissioner, it's also a great honor for me to represent the UAE at the World Business Angel Forum, which is, as I said before, a prestigious platform gathering that embodies the spirit of a global collaboration and innovation, and talk about highly relevant topics such as the critical need for collaboration between higher education and the financial services sector to increase financial inclusion. As we navigate in the ever-evolving landscape of technology advancements, and I'm sure that Marco later on, Roberto later on will tell us a lot about this, it's evident that jobs are changing dramatically and new skills are required to drive initiatives such as data analytics, artificial intelligence, and distributed ledger technologies. Financial institutions worldwide are striving to embrace this digital future, where finance and technology converge to create new competitive advantages. In this rapidly evolving landscape, attracting, recruiting, and retaining top talent becomes imperative for sectors and government economies' continued success. To remain competitive, financial institutions need to access to a digitally fluent workforce, capable of effectively utilizing new technology and harnessing the power of vast data resources. The United Arab Emirates, in this respect, stands as a shining example of a jurisdiction that boasts a workforce characterized by high level of post-secondary education attainment. Moreover, its robust immigration rates and rapidly growing technology market hold immense potential for building a strong talent pipeline in the financial services sector. However, industry association and government projections indicate skills shortage in key occupations and lack of job readiness among early talent. Additionally, we cannot ignore the impact of opportunities that also other industries require, such as the climate change in the financial sector. As you know, I just opened a bracket on this, climate change has the potential to disrupt price, economy volatility, impair monetary policy transmission. It's crucial for developed nations to fulfill their commitment to deliver something which has been estimated approximately by Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, the Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, the chair of the imminent COP28 here in the UAE, more than $100 billion in climate finance need, which has made, a huge demand, and of course needs a lot of skills in order to be developed. To achieve these fundamental are needed reforms of fiscal institutions, cooperation among multilateral development banks, and a lot of cooperation among all the professionals in the financial services. In the light of these challenges and opportunities, it's clear, it's evident that businesses and entrepreneurship education has come a long way over the past 2 decades. The mindset of students and entrepreneurship has evolved, and more businesses are embracing an entrepreneurial spirit as well. Even traditionally conservative organizations now prioritize boosting entrepreneurial energies and promoting a culture of creativity and innovation. We recognize that most innovative businesses ideas now come from the young minds, the young people. And to ensure the success of these ideas and empower current and future entrepreneurs and investors, specialized knowledge and complex skill sets are required. This session, and also my intervention, is a call for a transformation in higher education institutions, demanding when they are to revisit their existing business curricula and expand their offering. It's time for this institution to embrace a broader framework that encompasses education, incubation, mentoring, technology, transfer, research, and development. By only putting all these kind of things together, we will have a full set of skills prepared for the young generations. Now, I would say that business skills continue to be critical, also specifically in the financial services, programs need to be adapted to the digital future, and the curriculum changes in many undergraduate business programs across the UAE also are focusing on data analysis. Just recently, the UAE has opened an interesting AI application called the Falcon. It's the open source chat GPT solution platform offered by the UAE to entrepreneurs and students, also for commercial and private usage, and is open source. So there are many, many attempts in order to be ready digitally in order to embrace this new transformation. In conclusion, I would say that the imperative for global collaboration between higher education and financial service sector is vital to increase the financial inclusion and has never been more pressing than today. The convergence of finance and technology, the challenges posed by climate change, the changing landscape of business and entrepreneurship education demand are a united effort. So let us embrace this opportunity to redefine the role of higher education institutions, expand the offering, foster environment where innovation, inclusion, and collaboration thrive. Together, we can pave the way for a future that unlocks the full potential of our global talent pool and empowers individuals to create more and more prosperous and inclusive world. Thank you for your attention, and I wish a continued success of this platform and of the WBAF community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Massimo, for your insightful keynote speech. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The second, thank you. The second keynote speaker is His Excellency, Mr. Roberto Crozzi. A few words about His Excellency, Mr. Roberto. Mr. Roberto Crozzi, with over 20 years of experience working for the organizations such as Microsoft and Google, Roberto Crozzi's passion lies in innovation, startups, and people. In his previous role as a managing director of Microsoft Startups, Roberto Crozzi is building Microsoft, the new division from scratch, including spearheading its expansion innovation strategy, the vision to foster a collaborative startup ecosystem to create a better, brightful future for people around the world. An in-demand international speaker, Roberto speaks about authentic and creative leadership, employee engagement, mental health, innovation, and digital transformation, funding, and startups. In his current role, Mr. Roberto is the Director, Public Investment Fund, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. With due respect, I wish to invite His Excellency, Mr. Roberto Crozzi, to deliver the keynote speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Harris. First of all, a heartfelt thank you to you for all the organization and setting this up for all of us. Your effort and work has been amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, good evening. It's both an honor and a privilege to be here today at the World Business Angel Forum. Thanks to Beber Altuntas for chair this great forum and fostering knowledge sharing across all of us. And thanks Massimo and all the other speakers, of course, and the keynote speakers and the organizers for setting up such a great event. The topic we are exploring is both timely and significant, the role of higher education in fostering entrepreneurship for financial inclusion. We live in an era of unprecedented change, and the United Arab Emirates stands as a shining beacon of how a nation can transform itself within a few decades. If we think about it, we have built in the UAE iconic cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi and the whole country, and we fostered dynamic startups. We established top-tier universities and nurtured robust financial systems. However, our journey towards progress continues as we turn our attention towards a crucial challenge, that of financial inclusion. A one that doesn't have to do only with the UAE, but the broader region we are in. If we think that in some countries around even up to 80% of the population are unbanked, and there are a lot of issues around the topic of financial literacy as well. Data from the World Bank in 2021 showed that only about 20% of adults in the MENA region had a bank account or a mobile money provider. In a world where financial empowerment is key to socioeconomic progress, this represents a significant opportunity for improvement. Higher education is poised to play a crucial role in this journey. Universities are the cradle of critical thinking, an essential cornerstone of entrepreneurship. Institutions in the UAE, such as the American University of Sharjah, UAE University, Zayed University, and many others, right? So have been nurturing this intellectual rigor. According to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, over 70% of the adult population in the UAE perceive entrepreneurship as a desirable career choice. This overwhelming interest in entrepreneurship underscores the importance of integrating entrepreneurial education into our higher education curriculum. In addition, our universities serve as the melting pot of ideas and innovation, combining diverse perspectives through interdisciplinary studies. This creates the fertile ground from which groundbreaking entrepreneurial ideas can sprout, vital for devising holistic solutions towards financial inclusion. We shouldn't think financial inclusion or finances as a sector. It's something that would spread across every single aspect of the life that we live in. So an entrepreneurial mindset here is key to enable young people and entrepreneurs in the region, starting from higher education, to think how to embed this into our lives. However, education should not be confined to the bounds of universities only. As you know, in my experience as Harry's recap, both in technology companies and in an investment fund right now, I can testify to the importance of continuous learning in the ever-evolving world of entrepreneurship and finance. We in the UAE, we have recognized this, and I think we have taken proactive steps. Programs like Khalifa Fund for Enterprise Development and many others have been instrumental in providing local entrepreneurs with the required knowledge, expertise, and finances. You know, and there are different programs that are deeply committed to backing ventures that aim to make a significant contribution to financial inclusion and sustainable finance. For us to nurture these seeds of innovation effectively, we must build a robust ecosystem that fosters entrepreneurship. This necessitates seamless cooperation among higher education institutions, government, academia, and businesses. It is through such synergistic efforts that we can march towards a more financially inclusive society. Moreover, the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor has reported also that over 60% of young Emiratis expressed an interest in starting a business within the next 5 years. This calls for the nurturing of an entrepreneurial mindset right from early education, equipping our young minds for the future. Technology will play a key role in this because it's an enabler to identify solutions where we can democratize access to finance for more people and to impact the life of millions of people. Data and analytics, leveraged blockchain technologies are key new technologies that we can leverage and forge entrepreneurial ideas around them. In conclusion, the UAE has always been home to visionaries. This spirit of enterprise is deeply ingrained in our national fabric here in this country. So as we journey into the future, let us use education as a powerful tool to foster an environment that champions financial inclusion. The path to financial inclusion is not a sprint, but a marathon. It calls for persistent dialogue, mutual learning, and unwavering collaboration. Let us move ahead with the promise to build a future where financial empowerment is accessible to all, and our nation continues to prosper as a global symbol of resilience, innovation, and inclusivity. Shukran, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. I eagerly look forward to the enriching discussions that lie ahead. Together, let's embark on this inspiring journey towards a future of financial inclusion for all.
Thank you, Roberto, for a wonderful speech.
Thank you.
The next keynote speaker is Her Excellency Ms. Alison Renault from the United States of America. A few words about Ms. Alison. Ms. Alison is a graduate from Harvard University, where she obtained her master's graduation in international relations and space policy. She also attended the NASA-sponsored International Space University in Montreal and was asked to tech space entrepreneurship for ISU for several years. She has held an internship at NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C., the FAA Commercial Spaceflight Office, and the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island. Her award-winning Harvard thesis has been published as a #1 release in Amazon and referred to as a framework for our current US space policy on NASA's return to moon. Ms. Alison has been the high demand internationally to advise space emerging nations on the importance of national space program, speaking with presidents as well as the members of their cabinet. Her passion to elevate the education level of women and children motivates her deeply. She is a successful business owner and coach of Olympics, hopeful in the sports of gymnastics, and the mother of 11 biological children. In pursuit of her lifelong dream, Allison graduated summa cum laude from Harvard with her master's degree and was nominated as Harvard's 2019 Emerging Leaders of the Year. She has been featured on NBC Today Show, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and countless magazines, radio shows, and newspapers. With due respect, I wish to invite Her Excellency Ms. Allison to deliver a keynote speech.
Thank you, Harris. Greetings to all of my colleagues and esteemed guests who are listening and watching worldwide. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. As was mentioned in the introduction, I work in the space industry as an international space consultant. I'm also heavily invested in real estate, oil and gas, agriculture, and the stock market. I also own a large gymnastics program where my staff and I currently train over 500 young female gymnasts. And I love the international humanitarian work that I get to do as well. However, my financial success was not always this way. In fact, it was the opposite. And it was angel investors, like many of you in the listening audience, that allowed my financial dreams to come true. As also was mentioned in my introduction, I am the mother of 11 biological children. I have 9 daughters and 2 sons, all with one husband. I only planned to have 2 kids, but there were 9 surprises. Eventually, I became a single mom. And although I wanted to pursue business, the cash flow necessary to take care of the kids really hindered me from doing so. I knew that I had the talent and the work ethic and the business sense to do this, but approaching the formal financial institutions for a loan was impossible for me. A young mother does not have the assets, the savings, or the collateral to present a good case to a banker or a loan officer. I felt trapped and stuck. I think I was the poster child for financial exclusion, which is a common problem for millions of women around the world. But still, the dream of owning my own business and achieving financial freedom burned in my heart. So I decided in the year 2000, I would do my best with what I had to start an Olympic quality gymnastics program. I had no building, no gymnastics equipment, no funding, and I certainly had no experience in the sport. But what I did have at my house was a backyard, and I had my first gymnast, which was one of my daughters. Slowly but surely, it all fell together, and a few more kids began to train. 2 angel investors noticed the success of these gymnasts. One of them offered me a 6-figure loan, and the other offered to remodel and lease a 25,000 square foot building, or 2,300 square meters. Now, after 23 years, Victory Gymnastics, Oklahoma, USA, has become very successful, and we have produced hundreds of state, national, and world champions. But more importantly, we teach these 500 young female gymnasts how to be champions in life every single day. By 2010, I decided it was time to finally become formally educated. And I wanted to do my bachelor's and master's back to back. I was getting older and I was running out of time. But attaining a master's at Harvard for me, the obstacles were absolutely insurmountable. I still had 7 kids at home. I was working full time. I had no funding, and Harvard was 2,700 kilometers from my house, or 1,700 miles. But once again, an angel investor believed in me and gave me a private scholarship. This scholarship paid for my books, my tuition, and my weekly airfare to fly back and forth from Boston. In 2016, I graduated from Harvard with my master's in international relations with a focus in US space policy. And I dreamed of working at NASA, and I also dreamed of having my own private space consulting business. Well, some Harvard professors took interest in this dream, and they opened the door for me to attend the NASA-sponsored International Space University, which was an absolutely fantastic experience that changed my life. And I was eventually invited to Washington, D.C. to work at NASA headquarters, which then spun off into my own private space consulting business. Over this time period, I also grew my real estate business and my investment portfolio. Now, after many years, I finally am in a position to access the formal financial banking system. But I will say, as a woman, I have never forgotten the uphill climb. My passion now is elevating women of all ages around the world, and it motivates me deeply. My quest is to help as many women as I can. And I was fortunate enough to have a few miracles along the way, and now I want to become the miracle. Not only do I set aside 10% of my profits for charitable and humanitarian purposes, but I also encourage my female employees to chase their entrepreneurial dreams. I provide them with microloans, mentorship, and encouragement to make it happen. I allow them to keep their jobs with me and their steady paychecks so they can continue to pay for the financial needs of their family. This eliminates the financial pressure a startup can bring, and we all know how that feels. When I see the success of these women, it is extremely rewarding. We all know that the theme of this conference is global collaboration with higher education to increase financial inclusion. So how do we as business leaders attack this challenge? I suggest we focus on three main objectives. Number one, let's make it practical. Check with your local university or the university of your choice and research and see if they teach faculty and students about financial inclusion. I did this with my local university and I found out that they do not. So I plan to approach the business school where I have some contacts and present this topic to the leadership. I will ask to share my personal story with the students and explain how it felt to be on the outside looking in. I really believe that personal stories can stick in people's minds and truly cause a change of heart. Number two, let's continue to be involved in organizations like this that provide funding for talented but underserved people. And also consider personally sponsoring someone that you believe in to help them level up and to empower them. Number three, the concept of inclusion actually starts by teaching it at home. With your own family, you have to do this. I taught my children from a very young age that all nationalities and cultures are to be respected. They know that every person is valuable, regardless of their background or skin color. They also know that the character of a person's heart is most important. So in conclusion, I want to emphasize that women in particular continue to suffer from cultural norms and discrimination. They face great difficulty accessing funds the traditional way that men do. However, studies have proven that female entrepreneurs can create great social and economic transformation in both their families and communities. Let's commit to creating amazing opportunities for underserved people, because I know together we can make a huge impact and change many lives. I want to thank the World Business Angels Network for this amazing platform and the opportunity to speak here. And as my friends at NASA always remind me, failure is not an option. Thank you so much. And I pray each and every one of you have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Allison, for your insightful keynote speech. The next keynote speaker is Excellency Imad Edwin Oaktree. A few words about Mr. Imad. Mr. Imad is currently serving as a Director of Community Service and Industry Engagement at the Office of Scientific Research and Community Service American University of Ras Al Khaimah, United Arab Emirates. Mr. Imad is known for his passion for development, initiative, and his relentless pursuit to strengthen the position of the institution he works for, having contributed over his long professional history to many economic development initiatives between the public as well as the private sectors, and attracting official diplomatic and business delegations and trade mission to the United Arab Emirates and beyond. With due respect, I will be sharing his video message. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, very privileged and honored to be part of this prominent event and addressing such a multinational and diverse audience. Bridging the gap between academia and science and business has never been so pressing. The world is in need of making sure that we connect, that we bring higher education to the next level, that entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs are supported by all means, and connecting the dot. If we take into consideration the circular economy is at the heart of what we are all doing today, and making sure that balancing between what academia needs and science needs and business needs is leveraged. That is the most ultimate and biggest goal that we all have. Now, when it comes to what we are doing on the ground in terms of projects and in terms of initiatives, it is not only necessary for us to consider having incubators and entrepreneurship centers within campuses of universities, but what is really important is to make sure that an ecosystem is created within those scientific outlets, making sure that we communicate well, that we give the opportunity to the students to be part of this ecosystem, nurture them, coach them, give them the possibility to have hands-on experience. One of most important initiatives that we are taking nowadays is to bring hands-on experience in the campus by society experts. We call them industry experts or society experts, to give the opportunity to the faculty and students to gain insight from the real world. Also give notability to the experience and expertise of experts in different fields, and make sure that we leverage on the gap that is that is really hindering the communication and the relation between business and academia. Now, besides that, what is really important is also that universities actively participate and communicate their initiatives, their programs, their projects, not only from the academic side, but also playing a vital role in bringing about business and entrepreneurship. Global, virtual and real life platforms can enable exchange of thoughts and ideas. I hope that our efforts will be rewarded, and that we will see a lot of partnerships, a lot of get-togethers, a lot of alliances, and fulfilling and realizing the objective that we all are set for. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and all the best for all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Massimo, for your grand speech. Thank you very much, Mr. Robert Cosi. Thank you very much for Ms. Alison. And thank you so much for Mr. Imad. This session is over. The next roundtable will start shortly. Thank you. Elisa. Now the virtual roundtable session starts. Dr. Shadi Kuzam, panelist speaker, Dr. Jubin, speaker Dr. Shyamjit, panelist speaker Mr. Anit Matthew. Now I invite Dr. Shah about the panel. The topic is the role of universities in promoting entrepreneurship education for financial inclusion. Hello, Shadi. Hello. 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 Shadi, yes.
Hi. It's either I'm a bit late or a bit early.
Okay. So you can give a brief introduction about the topic, and
Yeah,
you can.
thank you so much.
Everyone.
I have to check if our panelists are available. Are they? Hi. Hello, everybody. I'm Shadi Kuzam. I'm the founder and CEO of Kuzam Group, based in Dubai and in the Middle East. I'm a member and I'm international partner of WBAF on behalf of UAE, and I'm very happy to be joining you today. Yesterday, I had my daughter's wedding, so we're still in the mood of celebration. And I'm very happy now to join you. I've been like trying to catch up with the nice, interesting presentations and information shared by our colleagues and our friends. So let me start by telling you what our session of today is going to be about. It's going to be about the contribution of universities in helping entrepreneurs, like having a better knowledge that they need for their life. So, and are the curricula covering that experience or not? I'll start with a story like back in the 1990s. Early 1990s, I was a civil engineering student at the American University of Beirut. And the AUB was known for their tough courses in engineering. So they used to teach us very competitive courses in science, math, engineering. They prepare us for situations like structures, highways, hydraulic, etc. They prepare you to be employed, to get a good job, secure a good job at a good company. And they also like think about, okay, what if you become a manager? So what do you need? So they start giving you some managerial courses, management courses, economics, business, etc., which is good when you become a manager and get promoted to a manager. But one thing they never prepare you for is what if you become on your own? What if you become an entrepreneur, or if you become an owner of an establishment, or if you have a startup? So that's something that was really missing. And maybe the word entrepreneur, we haven't learned it until like maybe 10 years after I left university. So they even didn't teach us the word. So you come to the social media and you see all those influencers, all those speeches online. They're all like boosting your confidence. They push you to leave your job. They push you to go on your own, start a business, start risking something, establish something, a startup. But it is just like they're asking you to jump into the water without being sure whether you know how to swim or not. So there is some knowledge that's needed for an entrepreneur to get into the water or into the entrepreneurship or startup. That knowledge has to be acquired somewhere, either like from like proper education, from universities, from WBAF courses that they have online, from mentorship programs. It has to come from somewhere. And if it doesn't, there is a big risk. So the entrepreneur is taking a really good risk. I'm not saying they cannot make it. Maybe they can, but that's not guaranteed. Today we have very interesting panelists. They're like coming from mixed experience from academia and from the working environment, from the industry. So they're going to be sharing with us today what they have. And I'm very excited to be welcoming them. So we'll start with Dr. Shamjid. Hello, Dr. Shamjid. Are you unmuted? You're on mute. Please unmute.
No, he can speak.
It's
Dr. Jubin, you can unmute. Shyam, you can.
Hope you can hear me. Okay.
No, you have to unmute.
so Dr.
Unmute.
Shamjid is an international speaker. He has a PhD in law and has published books and papers. And he has a rich banking experience that he's going to be sharing with us. And he's a well-known author. He will introduce himself in a while when we start with the first question. And we have with us Dr. Jubin. Hello, Dr. Jubin.
Yeah.
Dr. Jubin is a professor with long academia experience, and he has experience in India and overseas and international, really rich experience. He has also done clinical research in biotechnology, bioinformatics, and psychology, and there is a long list actually that he's going to be like sharing with us all that in a while. And we have with us Mr. Anit. I cannot see Mr. Anit. Are you there?
It is some technical issues.
All right.
He's sending messages. He's trying to join.
He hasn't joined yet. Okay, then we're ready to start with the first question with Dr. Jubin. Dr. Jubin, do you believe that universities, let me start with you. And before you answer the question, just tell us quickly about what you do and you can proceed. So do you believe that universities have a role to play in promoting entrepreneurship education, and why not? And give us from your experience, please.
Hi, all of you. Actually, hello. I hope
Yes.
you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. Myself, Dr. Jibin Balakrishnan, and with my long years of teaching experience with the students, I'm very interested to collaborate with this type of programs. And with all the dignitaries, and I'm just starting into my topic. And see, universities are having very important role in developing entrepreneurship, because the student community have to get full confidence when they are entering into studentship, and when they are just trying to enter into the field or into the job industry. That time, like, if we can promote the entrepreneurship among the students with a full mentorship, definitely the students can create wonders. These student communities can create wonders in universities. These universities startups can create a very good ecosystem, and that can promote a lot of job opportunities, and that can leads to a problem solving or crisis solving process. Because now we are all facing crisis, economic crisis we are facing. These startups only can solve this issue. Okay, when a student coming into this university, he's just normally getting some academic or theoretical things. With that theoretical background, a student cannot be able to get into the market with a business idea, because nowadays the conditions are very much dynamic. So student have to get a real-time experience from the university. If university can provide them a real-time experience, that is that definitely will work out. We are having many experiences from my country background. Also, we are having experience, and we personally, I also got an opportunity to associate with this type of startups. In that startups, actually, what we got is students actually they did wonders. They did wonders. What we have to do, or what the universities have to do, is provide them a better ecosystem. Their mentoring is most important. What I'm saying is, theoretically, definitely you have to teach them the theory, basic fundamentals of business, but mentoring them and give them actual real support, including the fund they need in the initial during the initial time. If you can provide them, definitely they can create one. The main problem that industries are facing, especially the startups, we are not getting the correct idea. We are not getting from where we are getting all those funds, all the support, all those things. No one is. See the background where I'm coming. See, here so many youngsters are there, so many youngsters. They are having very good ideas, wonderful ideas they are having. But no, there is what we are facing is we are not getting the real mentorship, and they don't know from where this particular venture capital they are getting from where they will get the experienced persons, experienced mentors, all those things are like. So university which can provide all those things, definitely they can create real wonders that can change our world, that can change our world problems, that can solve many of our issues, including the poverty. See, many people, many jobless persons who get the jobs. That's a great thing. We know that many startups now become conglomerates, or now they are creating wonders. We know that with their very small ideas. So, if we can provide them a correct platform, from this platform they will get networking, They can network with the different industry people, and that will give them a confidence, and that will give them ideas. See, someone is coming with a business idea. They are definitely coming with full confidence, but definitely it must be having some negatives and positives. Negatives also you should understand. What I am always telling to students is, if you are coming with an idea, first you have to go through that idea, and okay, if the idea is paka, good, okay, it's okay. You have to study about the industries that were in this industry, in this particular domain, and you have to study about the industries who failed. Industries who failed. That is very important. We are only thinking about the industries or companies or any type of businesses. They are all in the full success. I'm telling them to study about the failure of the other companies. What happened to them? Why they cannot be able to come into the real business, or why they fail? If you can study this, definitely that is the real theory that you have to study in your business school. Then you go to the people, and in universities, one important thing that we have to provide is the universities have to provide them a platform for interacting with the people. Nowadays, interacting is very less. Interacting, entrepreneurs, those students who are interested for entrepreneurship, they should know what is the real need of the society, what is the real need of the people. People are having, or our society is having a number of problems. How we can solve this problem with our idea? How we can solve this problems with your idea, with your innovative idea? Then definitely it can create wonders. But for understanding the problems of people, you have to go towards the people and understand them. You just to travel, talk with all people. See, when this type of facilities mentors can provide, along with the funding, networking, and business fundamentals, everything, then universities can become a real problem-solving places for the entire world. This is my opinion.
Thank you so much,
Definitely.
Dr. Jubin.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you. This is my opinion. With limited time, I'm telling all these things, but it's a real vast topic.
Very interesting. I'll come back to you with some other questions.
Yeah.
My next question will be to Dr. Shamjit. I hope you don't have any technical issues. Can you get us? I cannot hear you. I can see you, but I cannot hear.
Unmute, Shyamji. You can unmute. I think you are mute.
I'm unmute only.
Yes,
you're
yes,
good
yes.
now. You're good.
Can you hear me now?
Clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect,
Yes,
perfect.
fully clear. You can start.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Dr. Shamjit.
Okay.
Yeah, my question to you, like, if you've come, like, in 5 minutes, if you can explain to us, like, if you've come across any successful startups or ventures that emerge from university initiatives. So, if you've come across such thing, if you give us examples as well, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shadi. Thank you for being a panel of this allied speakers. And a special congrats to Shadi on your daughter's wedding. Wish all the best to your daughter. And have a wonderful family life to her. And I also thank Dr. Jubin and Mr. I think Anis yet to join for being a panel of these speakers. So answering to your question, yes, I have come across a lot of successful startups which emerged from the universities. We have a global level, we have a lot of examples, like we got Google, we got Facebook, we got Snapchat, Dell, Dropbox, all these companies, the founders have got this idea from the universities, they started from the universities. In fact, Google, the founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, both of the students of PhD students of Stanford University, they got this idea, they come up with this idea, and it was supported by the university. And if you go to the Facebook story also, the Mark Zuckerberg. He was a student of Harvard University. He got a lot of support from the university, and it was actually within the Harvard students. He has created this Facebook, and later on it became the global a giant in our social media. Like that, we got examples of a Snapchat, even Dell, and cloud computers like this Dropbox. In fact, Dropbox was the founder, that's Drew Houston. Actually, he was find difficult to use this USBs, USB drives every time. So he tried to find out a solution where he can easily access the cloud storage. So that's why it has been developed. So all these global examples through the life that the universities can, the startups can be successful from the promotion or support from the universities.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
anyone
Raj.
like from your students, like even the startups that are at more smaller scale, but like anything significant that you've been like exposed to?
Yeah, I just want to take you a few examples from my country, India also.
Go on.
In our state, there is a small startup, was started by a student of 20 years. His name is Dr. Mohammad Abdul Ghafoor. He won the best startup award this year. So he has started a startup during the COVID time, and the entire world was locked down. So he find that people find it difficult to get the plumbers, gardeners, and coconut. Kerala is famous for coconuts. So coconut pluckers also. So he has started a small company where he connected all these people, and he provided a solution to all the those who are in need. So it has become a big company now. Now they had a presence in around 3 districts in Kerala. It's providing employment to 72 members they got a staff members of 72%. And he created a directory of the skilled people. He's providing support to all these, those who are in need. So I believe even if it's not necessary that all the startups should become a multi-billion companies or become a globally successful companies. Even a small startup can give a lot of impact to society. Even you can see this, the name of that startup is Fixit. So even the Fixit can provide employment to a large number of people in the locality. It can provide income to the unemployed people, those who are not having any job there. It can provide a support to the social system of society. So I think what is important is that we should develop the idea of innovation or startups among the students. Now the thing is that mostly traditional way of thinking is that always we, just like Dr. Shadi shared, previously we always think about getting a job or being a manager in an organization or being an executive in a state department, so where we are very safe and secure. But thing is that unless there is unless there is a startup or organizations are coming up, you cannot provide the job. Government cannot provide job to all the people people of this country. There must be startup and the university should create an environment where they can promote the startups. I come across certain universities in China. I just want to share the name of the university. It's called Shenzhen University.
Yes.
It's a startup university.
Very famous.
Pardon?
It's a very famous university. Shenzhen University.
Yeah, yes. So it's a startup university. So that those who are joining the university can take a sabbatical and go and pursue their entrepreneurship, and after that they can come back and complete the course. So this is where I think we should this system. Instead of providing traditional courses, we should provide opportunities to students to start a new ventures, extend the technical and financial support to them. So I think that way universities can build a lot of startups in the coming years. I think the next century will be the century of startups where we can see a lot of. So I just want to sum up that one. After that, I think you can come back.
Very nice. Thank you so much. I would like to check if Engineer Anit is there. Or
And if he could not join, I
He
don't know,
cannot
some
join.
technical.
All right.
technical.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go back to Dr. Jubin. Dr. Jubin, have you encountered any entrepreneurship courses or programs offered by universities? And if yes, what's your experience like from where you taught and the universities that you've been teaching? And if no, then what do you think should be offered to be useful and beneficial for startups and entrepreneurs?
It's a very good question. And actually, personally, I'm having experience where we started. Personally, I was also a part of the team. We started a startup ecosystem in the university. That means we started a small startup village. Just for we have to give with our limited resources. We have to promote the students. At least maybe we can say 20 to 30% of students who are interested. For that, now we collected some CSR, some corporate social responsibility fund are available in our country and in our state, and we started that process. What I can say is it was we got very good result. The result means like what Mr. Stambik saw. We didn't created a billion-dollar company, but that was the real motivation for students. Among the students, 3 or 4 students started some very good business models. They come with some ideas. That ideas are all workable ideas. Workable ideas. Now, one I'm just interested to share with you. That is a medical equipment business. Medical equipment business means before the coming of COVID and all, some students predicted that there is a chance for viral attack. The chance for this type of disease are coming into the world. So that time, now, if we can provide families or houses with some medical equipment to assess their medical condition, like see, all the things are separate. We are getting devices for checking your blood BP, for the blood sugar and all. If we can come with all those equipment, small equipment within the same package with a low cost, that will be very good for it must be an affordable solution to the house. Actually, that one worked. That was the idea of the student. That one worked because with that equipment, they can test their BP, the blood sugar, many other parameters like oxygen level. These all things they can check. I'm telling about those conditions before the starting of or before the launching of sophisticated mobile. Before that time, we launched. Before that time, and that was a good idea, and that worked out. And that particular small company was taken over by another big company. Like that, the students came with many ideas and some workable ideas. They realized actually what is the benefit of promoting the startup. That will improve their confidence of the student community. Instead of just looking for some particular job. For example, many of the students who are capable enough to handle many technical ideas, they are having ideas. The problem is they are not getting the real platform for doing that. They are not getting the courage or confidence. We provided it. So what universities have to do? All universities, what I'm telling, all universities have to provide a platform for this type of startups. For entrepreneurship, what we are telling is entrepreneurial instinct, or if that student is having that instinct, we have to nurture it. Then definitely many of the problems can be solved. We did it our university in our college. First, what we did is we conducted a skill development program, and from that program we picked up some students and we introduced them what is the value of a startup, what type of impact it can create in the society. Then students came up with the idea.
Dr.
And
Shadi,
even though we
I have one question to the panelists.
Please go ahead.
I have one question to the panelists.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, what
Certainly,
about
certainly,
one
Harry.
ecosystem, startup ecosystem? What about a startup ecosystem where the startup ecosystem is developing in the universities and the alumnus of the students, you know, so they might be already employed in companies of having 10 years, 20 years experience. They act as mentors.
Exactly.
They can input money also as a seed
Exactly.
funding
That's
or
what.
angel investment. That type of system definitely it will give a greater impact. What do you think about this? Is a new concept. Startup,
Our
the
university
university,
like the solution.
those people who are the alumnus are mentors as well as the fund providers, and the universities are the startup entrepreneurs. That's such kind of system. It will work it or not?
It will definitely work out. Definitely work out, Mr. Harris, because it's a very good idea. What we did that time is we collected funds from the alumni. See, many alumni, many business leaders were there, entrepreneurs, business entrepreneurs were there, and we collected money from them. Actually, they were very interested. They were very interested to give funds to us. The reason is they are telling actually starting business is a culture. You have to impart that culture. Starting business is a culture.
Yes.
Then only our country, any country can go forward. See, people are all looking for jobs. There is no point. Someone have to come with the full confidence and courage with their
Yes.
idea. That culture, for promoting that culture, it was a successful. What I can say, it was a successful effort for promoting that culture. For that, we can invite all the alumni people who are interested. They can we can raise funds from them, and this one we can introduce in every university, that can make a real impact.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer and valuable information. Since we started talking about that, I'll get Dr. Shamjit's opinion on whether university should fund actually or support financially the students. And do you think this will help the entrepreneur ecosystem, and how? And how do you see that happening? Let's say if they want to fund it, what's the process and the mechanism?
Yeah, I think I can hear you, Dr. Shadi.
Yeah,
You
go
can hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah, university, I am on the view that university should provide funding and investment support to the startups. Because as you know that when the students they're facing a lot of difficulties in funding, they are facing a lot of financial constraints. So funding support from the university is of vital importance to grow up a startup. So I would like to analyze this in under three or four heads. One is nurturing entrepreneurship ventures. That means that unless the university provide financial support, the students cannot go up with these startups. So funding will always support them, will give a confidence to them to go up with the support. And second is encouraging risk taking and innovation. See, the problem, many of the students face a problem of a dilemma of either going for a job or continue with a startup. The traditional view is that always you complete the studies and go for a job. So this is always there is a temptation to go for a job. So if you want students to,
that's the easy option. That's the easy way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the students know to retain the talent and to encourage the students, university should fund them. The question is how the funding is going to happen. As Mr. Harris discussed and Jubin has supported, the alumni should come up here. In India, I can just share you a few examples where the Infosys founders, Infosys is a famous this software company. It was founded by Nandan Nilekani and Narayana Murthy and other persons. So Nandan Nilekani he has studied in the IIT Delhi, and he has as a venture, as a measure to give back to the society, to the university. Yes, every year he's funding a lot of startups. So this is a way he can, giving back his whatever the education he's got from IIT to his alma mater. So I think alumni played a very important role in supporting the startups in the universities. The funding part or even mentoring, it can be taken care of by the universities. Another thing is about the networking. So once a person has established himself as a founded a company, he got a lot of networks with a lot of other persons in the world. So this can be help. This can be support the startups in the initial stages of growth. And another issue is creating a support ecosystem. Whenever any angel funds or external investors, they will be investing in a startup which is recognized by the universities, because that will give a lot of confidence to the external investors. A startup which is supported by the universities, recognized by the universities, definitely an external investors will be ready to invest. So this is what happened in all the great companies in the world. This in case of Facebook, Google, all the angel funds.
Also, Shamjit, we have in IITs have similar kind of business model. This model is already there, I believe, in the Institute of Technologies.
Yes.
IITs have this kind of model is there already.
Yeah, Iris, can you repeat?
IITs, Indian Institute of Technology, have already adopted this model. What's the model? What you said?
I think he's getting having some technical.
So I think so support system, that means that if the university is recognized in startups, very easy to get the funds from the external agencies, either from the angel investors or any other PE investors or whatever the investors that are interested in startups. They will be easy for them to fund this startup which is recognized by the universities. And another thing is that showcase the success stories. What is happening? Whenever a startup has become successful, it become a brand name of that university. So university can always showcase the success stories to the inspiring students. I can say that this person, this so-and-so person who studied in this university has built this company. So that will be an inspiration to all the younger ones who are joining the universities. So this should be showcased as a success stories to the coming generations, coming students who are coming up, who are taking new admissions in the universities. So this way, the universities can help in funding or investment in the startups. I believe without the support from the universities, none of the startups can grow, none of the startups can become successful. So universities are the what you call the launching pad where they can start their ventures. So the role of universities of immense importance, and I think one more thing is that now in all the countries there is governments are coming up in extending all support to the universities. Always there is an incubation cells in all the universities. Even banking and legal sector also, there are a lot of startups are coming up, and a lot of support is given by the government and the universities in providing guidance, mentoring to all these startups. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was very interesting. I've seen Mr. Anit joining, but I'm not sure if he's still there. Maybe we lost him again.
Connection again lost.
Lost?
He lost the connection again.
Sorry, I hope you
Actually,
can join
we
before
have,
we finish.
let me do here. We have to find a solution for this. Some startups have to find a solution for this because everywhere we all want to talk to each other. So many ideas we are sharing. But now one of the main problems what we are facing is still we are facing the problem with the network connectivity. We are from different areas.
Yes.
Someone have to find out a solution. It's a big issue nowadays. We are facing. We have to talk a lot. Someone have to come with this, some innovative ideas. Then people can talk. They can create. They can create wonders. Definitely, people can create wonders. Only thing is you have to provide the opportunity for them to talk.
Yeah,
Those
I
who are
agree.
coming from very countryside, village areas and all, they can create wonders.
Yeah. So, Dr. Jobin, if you allow me, my next question is that we spoke that the university should help students to be on track, to be able to step into entrepreneurship and have their chance for startups. So which skills and knowledge they should be taught at university, and on what courses university should focus to help them achieve what they have in mind?
That is also an interesting question. One thing, normally when you're looking into the businesses, I'm not criticizing businesses. Businesses are very fully arranged or complete corporate business are there. But most of these small businesses, why they are failing? That is an interesting area to study. Why those businesses are failing? See, those businesses which are structured properly, they will not fail. The chance for failing is less. But normally a middleman, or what we can say a lemon, who is coming to the business with his dreams and ideas, most of them are failing. One of the reasons is we don't know how to do a structured business. That is why there in those particular areas, these business schools and universities are having very important role to play. Some important skills, just I'll mention. That means first we have to teach them the business fundamentals. Business fundamentals. When you are studying business fundamentals, there are many do's and don'ts. Many of my business friends, many of them are doing many don'ts. That means even many of them are doing don'ts. And in that don't, very important, I think a very senior financial person is sitting there, Mr. Shamit is sitting there. He may be knowing. The people who are business people who are coming to banks for getting some loans, most of them don't know how to repay it back. They don't have an idea how to repay it back. Without that, they are taking the huge loans and become bankrupt and closing the company. So they should have business fundamentals. We should teach them very properly business fundamentals. And the next important thing is financial matters relating with the business. Financial matters and one important thing is financial matter, not only that, how to manage finance properly with the professional way, in a professional way. It is not a show. It is not a show. It is not a luxury to show something. Many business owners call. They all started. We know that. See, I'm telling about one global. We know the story of Microsoft. I heard that it started from his garage. From his garage, he started, and he established. And now we are talking through his system. I hope we are all using Microsoft system, Windows and all. But nowadays, the business are coming in a different way. They are all, especially startups, they are showing many things without having a financial background and financial situation should be strong. Then only you can improve. Any business can improve. That is a global theory. It is applicable everywhere. Then, how to find out opportunities? How to deal with your customers? Very, very important. How to deal with your customers. Even though that is a very cliche thing, dealing with the customer. Customer is king. Still, customer is not king. Customer is king only theoretically. Customer is king only theoretically. Today also I faced that type of issue. That's what I'm telling you. Customer is the king. That you have to teach very properly.
So
Then,
Shadi, I have also
Sir, joined. Yeah, I just don't.
Anita joined.
Yeah, let me take this chance before Anit disappeared again. Let me ask him a quick question. Hello, how are you doing, Mr. Anit?
Hey, good, good, good. Very,
Anit
very,
is
very
an
sorry
IT
that I
consultant in
couldn't
the
join.
UK.
Some technical issues. Yeah.
Mr. Anit is an IT consultant in the UK, and he's an engineer and technology leader. And he worked as senior manager in many engineering companies. So I will have a quick question. I think you missed a lot of fun, but you can catch up.
Yeah.
I want you, from
Thank
your experience, to tell if you're aware of any entrepreneurship centers or incubators established by universities, please. But we have to be a little fast because we're running out of time.
Yeah, definitely. I know that I was late. There were some technical glitch initially that I couldn't join, then disconnected. Yeah, thank you for giving me the time. Appreciate. Yeah, for the question, yes, I know I have been working with few startup hubs as part of my career, and in the industry, I had worked with many universities and colleges. But this one, the one I wanted to share here is the technology hub that is part of the premier institutes in India as part of one of the new mission of the government of India. It's called National Mission on Cyber Physical Systems. It's the new era of technology, and as everyone know, and this particular incubators are designed to cater the need for the industry based on the new technology area like cyber physical system. I hope everyone knows what it is. It's a integrated engineering system of cybernetics and physical systems, which encompasses like most of the new technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Growth, and embedded systems, and all together to deal with the real world problems. So this is one particular startup that I have been aware of and I'm working with, and they are able to understand the real problem that the world needs now, depending on the new technology, and they are working towards startups. So to the other part of the question, like probably like let me extend a couple of points more. How this technology hubs or this startup incubators can help is it works in the framework of the university, and it also encompasses the values of that university of the college that raises, and give the framework to how to work with, how to mitigate the risk, how to understand the real problem. One statistics I would like to share here, like 90% of the startups fail within 3 years. Why? The real reason is they really don't understand the problem, or they really don't address the problem the market has. So this is where a university-led startup can help with its interaction with the industry, interaction with the academia, and with the wide network that the alumni has of the university has. And I would say the aspiring entrepreneurs, they will get an opportunity to understand that, systematically address the risk, understand the problem, the real problems, and find the real business need and go to the market.
Okay, let me take the chance to ask you another question. Do you think universities should collaborate with the business community to enhance this entrepreneurship education?
Definitely, that's another point that I was trying to clip along with the first answer. Definitely, that is how it should be. The reason is that comes from the real world and the real market where the problem arises. And I work in a sector, aerospace sector, as you introduced me, and it has. I would say an example, like an aircraft has 7 to 8 million parts. 7 to 8 million parts. So you should imagine the kind of supply chain, that is involved with, and the real problems and the technology improvement and the new technology adoption included in that. So a student or a new entrepreneur who doesn't know the industry, at any point without network and the connection, he will not understand what is happening. And this is what is important. Thank you.
We'll be fast. I'll ask one question to Dr. Shamjid. Do you believe that entrepreneurship education can contribute to social and economic development? And if yes, how can universities promote socially responsible entrepreneurship?
I believe that university, this entrepreneurship and student entrepreneurship will definitely contribute towards social and economic development of the country and even in the core. But for that, I think what is important is that university should impart as ethical sense to all the students who are starting these startups. Because you know that many of the big business enterprises ultimately collapse because of not following the proper ethical standards or not following the laws of the country. So complying with the laws of the country, complying with the ethical system, that is very important. So whenever an enterprise is coming up, they will always focus that they're doing the business ethically and they're contributing to the social and economic development of that particular space also. Because now I think a lot of enterprises are coming who are concentrating on social development. And non-profit organizations are coming in all the parts of the world where they are doing a lot of activities without having much profit. Of course, profit is part of sustaining a business, but making a huge profit is not their ultimate aim. They want to have an impact on society. They want to create and support the people. They want to create a society where all are equally treated, all are being given opportunities, all are being promoted. Now, you know that a lot of types of discriminations are happening in society. There are marginalized society, people are there. There are people who are not having support. So I believe that the startups will create a new era in providing support to all these social dilemmas. And ethical and responsible is one way. Other thing is that they should understand they should provide a solution to the pain of society. If you take any venture which has become successful, that are providing a solution to the pain of the society. And take the case of Google. And 20 years back, we find difficult to get information. You have to go to the library, you have to talk to a lot of people to get information. But now with a click of a mouse, you get all the information. So this is a pain suffered by the society, and Google has come up with a solution for that. So all these startups, they should always focus on providing a solution to society, how they can eradicate the issue, social dilemmas in society, and a classless,
Thank you.
society is the objective of all the social entrepreneurs. And I would like to also mention that whenever, as Dr. Subin told, there should be a lot of communication gap is happening. The startups are not properly able to communicate to society. They should understand what is the need of society, and they should listen to the problem of society. They should provide a solution to society. So
that's very interesting, Dr. Jamshid. We're running out of time. I just want Mr. Anit to answer me just 3 minutes. In what ways do you think universities can encourage students to develop entrepreneurship mindset?
Entrepreneurship mindset, that is the real thing, that is the real crux of doing a business. It is like mindset to growth, mindset to excellence, and the moment aspiring entrepreneur gets into that mindset. Some of the people have that born mindset to do the business, but some of them doesn't have that, or they still need some enablers, some support to get into that. That is where the education system of the university can help.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Actually, you know, I feel that we can go for hours and there is a lot for me to learn from you. There is a vast knowledge here. Maybe it's worth to have another session in the future about that. I just like conclude by saying that the things that I learned today, like about like how basically universities can help startups and entrepreneurs, like by either like having the right curriculum to teach students the right courses that will help them to avoid failure. As you said, like 90% will fail. We don't want them to fail, so we want to help them avoiding that failure. Also by the incubators and the entrepreneurship centers, also by research and innovation, like helping them through that. And also like universities have to go hand in hand with the community. They have to be part of the community. They have to give and take to the community, and they have to share. And as a gentleman said, that basically students require a lot of mentors, and Dr. Jubin started by saying that they have to be mentored, not only given courses. So maybe universities can help by assigning them to mentors, or either like from within university or from outside. Also, you need to encourage them to build the entrepreneurship mindset, and you have to help them to develop that through courses and through a program, basically. Plus, of course, we cannot forget funding. If you teach them, but you don't fund them when they need to be funded, actually. It's like just like you teach them, but you say, okay, look, you have to go, you have to fly, but I'm not paying you the ticket fare. So it is very important to find the best way to fund them. And it doesn't have to come from one source. It can be a, you know, it can be a mix of several sources, as you just said. Plus, there is the alumni. The alumni plays an important role. And of course, the alumni has to be organized by the university, because students, if they work on their own to help each other within the alumni platform, it's very difficult. So it has to be subsidized by the university, and that's an important role it can help. And community outreach and social impact, as you said, I learned about it, and I've seen some important examples, and that's definitely what should be encouraged in all over the world. Maybe today we had some examples from particular areas where maybe your experience is focused, but what you said is applicable almost to the entire world. At the end of the day, I'll just say that we would like to encourage universities to do as you said, and as in the way it helps students. Also at the WBAF, we have courses, and we can either provide courses directly, or we can collaborate with universities to help them develop their curriculum to encourage entrepreneurship mentality and startups. And if anyone that's watching today would like to ask for help or assistance or more information, I think Harris is the best person to be contacted. Thank you so much, doctors, Dr. Jubin, Dr. Jamshid, and Mr. Anil. Anil, you came a bit late, so I had to give you shorter time, maybe the next session next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shadi, for your excellent moderation. Thank you, Dr. Shamjit, for your wonderful speech. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Jubin, for your valuable inputs and excellent speech. And Anit, very wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The third session is starting now.
Okay, Harris, thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello, Dr. Farsana.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. Pega. Hanan.
Hello.
Everybody. Where is Farzana? Hello, Dr. Farzana.
I saw her on the, and then she disappeared.
One minute. I think she has joined. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Harris.
Yes. We were waiting for you.
I'm here.
Yeah. Now our roundtable 2 session starts. This is exclusively for women entrepreneurship, and the moderator is Dr. Farzana Irshad, and the panelist speakers one Dr. Hanan Selim, Ms. Pega Gaul, and Ms. Agnes Abdullah to open the session.
Thank you for giving me the floor, Mr. Harris. First of all, thank you very much for giving us this wonderful, excellent platform where we as women can speak about how entrepreneurship works in the UAE. As Mr. Harris has already introduced us, my name is Dr. Farzana. I am a co-founder of a prop tech company. It's called Direct SP. Giving you a small brief here, my background is entirely different, but now I'm touched by this wonderful thing of enthusiasm about entrepreneur, being out there, learning how startups work for women in UAE. And thank you so much, UAE, for being this welcoming, not only for me, but for all these amazing women that we will just meet on this panel.
Thank you.
So I would ask the wonderful women to start introducing themselves so that we can move on and we can get everybody on board and people can know what we're doing here.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Hanan Selim. I've been in UAE since 2012. I do work for the Ministry of Health. I've been in the healthcare industry for over 25 years. I've been very passionate to support women on many levels. And it led me to discover cutting edge resources and science and evidence-based that allowed me to share the stage with a lot of world experts, becoming an international speaker, award-winning author of my book, Second Chances. And I'm also the UN mentor for women empowerment, and of course, very proud WBAF international partner.
Thank you, Hanan. Yes, I will continue. So my name is Agnes, and I'm a founder of Diamond Day and Diamond Tears Club. It is a first platform that exists there to connect diamond tears, entrepreneurs in gold and gemstones with capital partners and solutions. So far, we had 2 diamond networking trips. This is actually quite also innovative and creative way in Dubai. It was held November and April to get more people from different countries to come to Dubai and start their businesses in the right ways in gold, diamonds, and gemstones. So this is a bit about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agnes.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Pega Gul, and I've been in the UAE for the past, I've been fortunate to be in UAE for the past 15 years. My background is recruitment. I wrote this book, which has become #1 bestseller on Amazon, which is called The Formula.
8 times got #1 bestsellers. I'm also an angel investor, board member, and the CEO of an AI and machine learning talent platform, which is enabling all the companies to reduce their cost, their cost and their time and the energy, and recruiting much faster with the help of AI. Also, I'm having my own company, which is helping entrepreneur and business owners, especially for the tech companies, with their personal branding. I help them with that, how to establish the personal brand, how to go with their pitching, and I'm mentoring lots of startups as well. So this is also a little bit about me, and I'm very happy to share all the information about this wonderful country, UAE, which I'm very proud to be part of this this talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much. These excellent women have already given out their portfolios. Before we get into what we will be talking about, I'm just going to give you a brief. We will be talking about the scope of women entrepreneurs in UAE. And all of us will actually enlighten, start giving the insights about how the UAE government is helping women with various kinds of entrepreneurship platforms, the financial ways, the organizations, how UAE is tying up every single woman and empowering them to go forward with their ideas, from basic conception of the ideas to actually utilizing and making it out there in the world. So we'll be talking about all these things in this session. Pega, because you have given us all your brief, and congratulations for your book. I would want to ask you a question here. So what initiatives has the UAE government implemented so far to support women entrepreneurs?
Okay, very good question. Thank you so much, Dr. Farzana. I just wanted to share something first before I go with the names of the initiatives and the organizations. I came here 15 years ago, and I started my career in the UAE. And I wouldn't be here at this level if it wasn't because of the spirit of the UAE, which is saying that anything is possible. And this spirit is really leading everyone's, doesn't matter if we are women or men, we are just really getting into that kind of mindset, and everything will be possible for us, as nothing is impossible. So I started with that. And there are lots of initiatives happening at the moment, and from the years before, and always increasing and improving. So the women entrepreneurship in the UAE growth by 68% in comparison to 2020. So you can imagine that how much the initiatives are working towards to really helping women entrepreneurs to go forward with that. But if I want to be really specific about some of the government initiatives, several initiatives to support women entrepreneurship, is one of them is Dubai Women Establishment, which is the government organization. They established to support, enhance the women in Dubai and social economic development. It provides lots of training, networking opportunities, mentoring, and financial support to aspiring women entrepreneurs. Also, there is another one which is called Women's Business Council, which they have Dubai, they have Sharjah, Dubai, Sharjah Women Business Councils, and each city they have their own, because they want to really empower women in their own city as well. So it's launched in 2013. With the aim of advancing women economics participation in the UAE. They have lots of good programs. You got like a membership with them. You can have a membership with them as long as you have the license. And then they have lots of different initiatives which is happening, gathering lots of mentoring programs, and etc. So also the other one is UAE Gender Balance Council, which is the it's established in 2015 to promote gender equality and ensure the equal opportunities for both men and women in various sectors, including entrepreneurship. It supports initiatives to encourage women participating in the workforce for entrepreneurship. One of the things that I really love in the UAE, the whole dilemma of the gender equality doesn't reflect that much in the entrepreneurship era, because and also even in the workplace, even in the career, as a woman who is like employees, you don't have this sort of dilemma to fight for gender equality because the government is really backing the gender balance. And that's why I think that the council just actually created. Also, there is the Mohammed bin Rashid Establishment for SMEs and Development, which is called Dubai SME providing various supports to services to small and medium-sized enterprises, including women-led businesses. Because also, again, it's very important. And I think they are really trying to not having like one side very much taking care and the other side not. So it's for both of them, and that's how equal the rights and initiatives are there. Also, there is a Women Economic Empowerment Global Summit, which is it's brought together all the leaders from different industries and entrepreneurs to discuss and promote the women economic empowerment. And this summit is happening like every year, and they are like really trying to make sure that they are actually providing the support for the women. Also, there are lots of access to finance initiatives, which is the UAE government work for on women empowerment, and actually send the requests, a special request to all the financial providers to make sure that they have women initiatives, some sort of providing the granted funding, loans, and targeted certain women-led organizations to make sure that they are getting the right support that they are looking for.
Wonderful, Pega. That was
this one is very important because it's about the tech. Actually, this one, some of the incubators, that it's because of the tech startups they're helping. They have initiatives to help women-led organizations. Some of them are Hub 71, DTEC, Shera in Sharjah, and all of them, they have initiatives specifically for women-led businesses. So there are lots of them that we can actually also search, but these are the most important initiatives that they're actually already in the UAE at the moment.
So actually, I think Pega is an excellent mind reader, because when she started talking about this, I was like, where do I go? I have a tech startup. And let me tell everybody here that I was not into startups from forever. I come, like I discussed it in the beginning, I was a biochemistry student who did her PhD in biochemistry, was totally dedicated into research and oncology. And just one small idea of digitalizing the entire real estate experience, it came from the founder of the company, and I jumped on board. There was a reason for that. Like Pega said it, and it's a beautiful thing of UAE. Men, women, it doesn't matter. If you have a head on your shoulders and you have an idea in UAE, you can do it. Anybody can do it. So like she said, yes, gender equality, and this goes out of the window. I have 17 men on my team. I'm leading them, but it's never like, oh, I am a female. How is it gonna be out there? It's wonderful. It's just brains and it's just ideas. And when it comes to startups, that's all we need. And thank you so much, Pega. That was so insightful. When you came to the tech part, I was like, yeah, now we are talking because I have a tech startup. Next question, not a question basically, because I know that these are some summarized key points that women want to know when they are starting up something on their own. So Dr. Hanan, I would like to ask you, how has access to financing improved for women entrepreneurs inside the UAE?
Thank you for that. So just to relate to your last point, Dr. Farzana, so I do come from the medical background as well. I have my PhD in clinical pharmacy, and I never thought in my wildest dream, you know, I would be having my own startup, being an entrepreneur myself. But really, your passion and your drive and being able to make an impact and pay it forward. I think this is what a lot of the women who get into a lot of the startups is because they feel very strong, or they're finding a gap in the market that does not fulfill what they're looking for. So, which is, of course, any startup or entrepreneur coming up with a creativity in that way and hitting the market with a unique idea is always an opportunity for success for any entrepreneur and for women entrepreneurs especially. So this is why actually going through, my understanding of the root cause, if you will, and studies and the research brings you to the idea, maybe perhaps we should look at mindset, maybe perhaps we should look at different parameters that we could support women. And this is actually one of the, I forgot to mention in the beginning, I'm the CEO of also a platform called Tackle and Talk, and it's all about supporting women, especially women who have, children of people of determination, mothers, and of course, Gen Z. And just like me as a startup and an entrepreneur, I was looking for financing, and I was looking for, how do I get the support and where do I start looking? And, like you said, UAE is very notable in their efforts in the various stakeholders, and including government initiatives and financial institutions and organizations who are looking specifically to support women empowerment and of course, contributing to positive changes with their ideas. Government support, the UAE government has actually implemented several policies and programs to encourage women's entrepreneurship and provide them with better access to financing. For example, the Dubai Business Women Council, Abu Dhabi Business Women Council offer support and resources, including access to finance, funding opportunities, and financial training. Dedicated financial products that are actually tailored to the needs of women entrepreneurs. Things like having favorable terms, lower interest rates, longer repayment periods, and of course, reduced collateral requirements. Banks such as Emirates NBD, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank have actually launched specific loan schemes targeting women-led businesses. Incubators, of course, accelerators, these are also emerged a lot in the UAE, specifically over the last few years. And again, these platforms not only help you on finding the finances, but they also give mentorship, training, network opportunities is very, very important. Sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yes,
I love that saying.
we will all agree with that. Definitely.
Right. And of course, Dubai Business Women Incubation Center and Shira, which is actually a Sharjah entrepreneurship center that not only helps businesses in Sharjah, but in UAE as a whole. Venture capitalists and angel investors, which I happen to be able to get for my business as well when I launched. This has increased a lot in UAE, and actually angel investors and venture capital firms are actively seeking to invest in women-led businesses, public-private partnerships, and of course working for the government. I've seen this accelerate again over the last few years, which are instrumental in enhancing access to financing for women entrepreneurs. For instance, they do partnerships between government entities, financial institutions, nonprofit organizations have resulted in the establishment of dedicated funds and grant as well. Awareness and education is very, very important, especially for workshops, trainings, seminars, programs organized to educate women on things like financial literacy, investment strategies, and the funding options available to them. I must say on gender equality, yes, we have come a long way, but I do still believe
Absolutely.
we still has work needs to be done.
Sure.
And it is important to continue advocating the equal opportunities and further removing the barriers to ensure sustained progress in this regard.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hanan. There were so many things that we all can relate to as entrepreneurs here. And this was so enlightening because going forward, yes, I'm looking for funding. So everybody is a part of it.
You're on the right platform.
Yeah. So
all of us
I
is
just
going
have
to
a
be like
follow-up.
that.
I'm sorry.
I think all of us, because we are all leading tech startup, at certain point, we're going to have pre-seed, seed funding, Series A, Series B. So at each point, we need to raise in the different ways.
Yeah, I am done with self-funding part here. I'll be going for the seeding now, inshallah. And with women like you around me, I love how everything is so insightful. And Hanan, I just have a follow-up question, considering and adding to what you just asked us. Are there some key organizations or programs in UAE that are specifically focusing on supporting women entrepreneurs? Like, where do I go when we finish this roundtable?
Yeah, so actually, so I feel that any small, advantage or any small platform, doesn't matter the size. If we could, that is going to create the ripple effect on many levels. So for me, I have a small WhatsApp group. I have, women from all walks of life, all around the world. I have princesses, duchesses, and other women who are on there who are looking for support. So I connect them on this small WhatsApp group that allows them to ask the questions, to get the support, to perhaps get a roadmap, if you will, on where do they start, how do they go about it. As well as there also, of course, the UN, even the United Nations, who actually I had the privilege to be part of, to be one of the mentors for women, local women who have the startups, and being able to actually, with the limited amount of information I have, to support them, even from a mindset. I think that would be very, very important. So we don't just want to look at on a big scale. I mean, any small scale to initiative can help women on many, many levels. Just bringing your experience, your own experience of being and done that, you're actually way ahead of the game for other women who might have no idea where to start. And that is always a good support. But to answer your question, Dubai Business Women Council specifically actually aims to empower and support women by providing them, of course, access to networking events, training programs, mentorship, business development opportunities. They also facilitate access to financing and collaborate with various stakeholders that I mentioned earlier, including private and government institutions, to promote women's entrepreneurship. Abu Dhabi Women Council, the Abu Dhabi Women Council is dedicated to fostering the development of women entrepreneurs, not only in Abu Dhabi, but also across the UAE. Mentorship, like I mentioned earlier, is very, very important. Training, network, as well as access to funding resources and assistance to establishing and growing a business. Dubai Women Establishment works towards enhancing the role of women in society and the economy as a whole. They focus on promoting women's leadership, entrepreneurship, and innovation through various programs, initiatives, and partnerships, like I mentioned earlier, with other institutions. WOMENA is a platform that aims to increase female representation in entrepreneurship and investment. They provide workshops, mentorship, networking events, and also operate as angel investments network that support women-led startups in the region. Shira, I mentioned earlier, the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Center supports aspiring entrepreneurs and startups in Sharjah and the UAE. While Shira and actually Khalifa Fund to Enterprise Development, they both really don't focus on women only, but on entrepreneurs as a whole, but they do actually support Emirati entrepreneurs, including women. So even though they don't advertise or promote that we are, here for these initiatives, particularly targeted to women, but I wanted to also mention these two, that they do have funding and support for women as well. And the last is Women's Angel Investor Network. WAIN is a network of angel investors dedicated to supporting women entrepreneurs in the UAE. They provide funding, mentorship, access to network of investors, industry experts to help women-led startups succeed. And of course, the platform that we're on today, which I'm very appreciative of to bring this awareness, which is the WBAF forum. Thank you.
Thank you
Dr.
so much.
Farzana, shall I ask one question to the panelist?
Well, I'll give you the permission for that. Definitely, Mr. Harris. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
See, what are the a women entrepreneur, what are the main obstacles a women entrepreneur is facing nowadays?
Yeah.
Pega will answer. Or...
So there actually, even though we do have these opportunities, but of course, there's always the cultural and social norms, right? That represent some obstacles for women entrepreneurs, traditional gender roles, expectations that may limit women's access to resources. You know,
we're all counting. We're all counting. I'm so sure everybody's counting in the head. We can add this and this and this.
Yes, yes. Balancing family responsibilities. I am a single mother of 3. So that's always been a big challenge for me as well. Yeah. Yeah, and access to funding. Like I had no clue, like, you know, even though it's out there, but, you know, I didn't have the, you know, the resources like the platforms like we have on today to say, okay, go here or explore this, or these are the actual platforms that you can get support from. A big one is also, you know, mentoring and networking. That, you know, where's the time to network, or where's the time to go and get mentorship, right? So, you know, all these are actual, that I feel obstacles. And also the big one that I've seen, but I've seen a big stride with women is certain industries, like the industrial industries. It has still to today a bias where it's, you know, our male counterparts are actually congested in these industries, but of course, strong women are actually paving the way to
absolutely. Dr. Hanan, I would agree with a lot of these, and we would definitely have a long list if we go through this because of time restrictions. I rush you, but I would like to answer a little bit of this, that as women, yes, the expectations that are put on us when we say we are startup entrepreneurs and founders, co-founders is different than what men are, but you believe us, we're getting there. We're all getting there. So this quickly gives me an Agnes, I want to ask you this.
Sorry, before we going further, can I just add a little bit, very small thing, okay, regarding the question specifically. I don't think that any problem is here with the UAE or with the government. They give you like all the opportunities, everything that you can pursue. Some of the things is cultural, obviously, in the culture of the companies. Some of them is because of the like domination of the male dominates industry, as we said. But some part of it is going back to us, how much we are believing, how much we are actually getting further. This is the mindset that we really need to work on. And this is one of the things that I really do for women entrepreneurship, because unless that you believe you can do, you cannot. Even in the place like in the country like UAE, that they gives you all the opportunities, you're just sitting and feeling that there is no way to do it. So I just wanted to
Mr. Harris just planted a question that will go universally around right now. It's something that we all actually know our challenges, but then again, all of us being here today, we have succeeded in any ways possible. So you girls are doing amazing. That's what I can say.
Thank you.
I would go to Agnes now. She's been in the background laughing and smiling at everybody's answers quickly. So Agnes, I just want to look, like we said, women are doing things very successfully now, but I would really like you to highlight the sectors or the industries in which women entrepreneurs in the UAE, like particularly have been very successful. If you could just highlight a couple.
Sure. Yeah, I would like as well to start a bit, you know, my personal story. It will be like very brief because it's quite long. And I just want to say like about motherhood. You know, like they say, if you want something done, ask a busy mother. So I think, you know, no, really, I think how we could do things is a magic. Yes. Like the more work you have, the better it is, right? Yes. And you know what I want to emphasize, what happened to me in the UAE. I am 8 years in the diamond business and I am based in Antwerp, and I come to UAE very frequently for our networking opportunities that we do provide for people, even from Africa, even from Brazil, even from USA, from all around. You know, I was impressed how much I was supported by men in UAE. And in general, you know, how supportive the environment was. And I can tell you, as a result of me moving my business to UAE, I got a bigger success in 1 year than I got here in 8 years. So that, you know, it's like inspiring. It's
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
you know, even my husband, even my children, you know, they were impressed, even my family, you know, because we women, we want to satisfy everyone. And that is also a very, you know, big topic. But in general, you know, environment in UAE is very supportive, especially if for us, foreign-owned businesses, which we moved to UAE, you know, like 100% foreign-owned business, visas for us, attracting a lot of businesses in UAE, funding, support, like it's very, very supportive, even if we are men, women, right? It doesn't matter. But yes, let's go back to the topic. I have met a lot of very successful UAE business women, and they do come from a lots of industries, of course. But when we, you know, want to kind of target the industries that are successful, I will say it is education and training, like, and lots of innovative learning opportunities that you really do present to the world as well. Fashion and design, which is very interesting to me, art as well. And I have met a lovely women in fashion and design through my diamond work. It's kind of really connected. I would like, for example, to give an example of your Sana Al Maktoum, her fine jewelry, Her Highness Sheikha. And then, you know, you have also lots of concept stores and galleries, like it's called The Edit, of a woman, Rumana, which is interesting because she was previously a lawyer. And then, you know, wellness centers, which are quite developed in UAE, like, you know, 100 Wellness Center, which was a fully first certified health clinics and wellness in UAE. And then, you know, healthcare as well, which is amazingly boosting, like recently, like healthcare clinics and specialized medical centers and this and that. And of course, not to forget technology and startups, because, you know, UAE is really a place. If you want to start your business, if you want to transfer your business, if you want to develop, learn, meet the world, and of course, Emirati, it's the place to be. I personally also know women in Belgium who are providing the networking opportunities for, you know, introducing the whole entire supporting system in UAE for us, for example, in Europe, which is, you know, very, very different from what we are used to. And of course, you know, you have a lots of really really successful women in, you know, maritime, in aviation sector, in lots of sectors where Emirati women are really, really, you know, changing business and the future. Financial sector as well, you know, like so many sectors. I mean, it's our time, right? So
absolutely,
we are everywhere.
We're taking it. We are taking it now. That's it. That's it. Everyone has to get that straight. So my follow-up question would be about this. The thing is, like some founders like me or co-founders like me, we come from a very different backgrounds. Like there was not a mindset that someday we'll start a business and we'll do this. Now, let's just take my example, that all through the research years, it was different. So the networking is not important because you work, you go home, you do your research, you're in the lab, you're running the message. Now when I'm there out and about, and now I'm networking, like I'm meeting people like you and Piga and Dr. Hanan, and all my source right now, to be honest, anyone watching this is LinkedIn, okay? It's amazing, works wonders, you go, you filter. But then again, Ignace, are there other networking opportunities that people like me can look up to, which is easier to access as well, and for women?
Yes, yeah. So we have mentioned, you know, a lots of supporting initiatives, and we have mentioned a lots of funds and a lots of counsel so far during this session. But yes, For example, you have a Women's Business Council events, right? They do organize different kinds of events, conferences, forums where you could also network, you can exchange your ideas, you can share experience. And of course, one of my parole of my club is together we are brilliant. It is, really matching the diamond sector, but really together we are brilliant. We cannot do a thing ourselves. Yes, we can develop the ideas, we can develop the projects, but when it comes to implementing and developing something, we do need to come together like we came today. The next one concretely, which would be, is for women coming to UAE or being in UAE, would be Dubai Business Women Council networking events, which are very regularly hosted networking events, which are connecting women entrepreneurs in Dubai. And of course, the place where you could share the knowledge as well, collaborate among women and from different kinds of backgrounds and industries, And of course, if you go online, you can research lots of industry-specific associations and groups which will help you, to develop. And even, what is very interesting in UAE, I must say, it allows you to make your networking events and your networking sessions and be very creative, because people do want to network a lot. And I never personally saw a place that is more into networking and business developing than UAE. So just to conclude, there are lots of business incubators and accelerators, which are women focused, a lot's really out there. And, there is a Dubai chamber as well. There is an Abu Dhabi chamber of commerce, which organizes networking events from professionals from different countries. I will say that even my club, Diamond Day and Diamond Tears Club, we do 2 times a year diamond networking trips, which are for women and men, of course, but we also have something called Brilliant Women Club, where we, offer an opportunity for women in gold, diamond, and gemstone industries, which includes also fashion and jewelry design, to network with other women like this from different countries, basically very, very worldwide, which includes Africa, Brazil, USA, Belgium, entire Europe, and lots of different countries. But we do it in Dubai. It's the place to be.
Well, not me right now because I am into tech, but I am a daughter of a gemologist. How small is this?
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
So, hey, Dad, you're watching this right now, so I'm going to connect you with Ignace. Go for the next networking event. He needs it.
Yeah, we're going to have October 26th and 27th. It's a 2-day program, and I really enjoy it. It's like lots of different people. It's miners, traders, cutters, gemologists, geologists, fashion designers. And, I would just like to say something for the end. For me, Dubai Chambers, the MCC, for example, were very supportive when I wanted to do this. And, is a special thanks to them, because without these people, things would be impossible. So you really need to find the government, body or the initiative for you. And it opens the door. It goes easy, of course. Of course, if everything is fine. If everything matches, right, then everything will go fine.
Absolutely. And that was so insightful, Ignace. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome.
Moving on with this session, a lot of people have, especially women, have this mindset that if I start something, what would be my rights? So I'm going to ask this question quickly with Pega. Pega, what's the legal framework in the UAE? How does it promote and protect women's rights when it comes to entrepreneurs?
Okay, I think I'm kind of very much right person to know this, at least in depth.
That's why we are asking you. So guys, take your pens and start noting this down.
No, it's not about legal. I'm not a legal expert. However, because I've been doing recruitment as a headhunter in an executive search firm, and we got mandate from government, semi-government, and private sector for the jobs that there existed. There was not a single job shared with us that they actually asked for the certain gender. to say it's for the male or for me female. And if it was something like that, it was, we need more women because we need to have a diverse department. So it's just very much about this. So every time they ask this question, I said, I didn't know this is even exists until I started to hear from some of my European friends or colleagues or something like that, that they actually pay less to women in other countries. Yeah. And I'm like, not such a things at all here. There is no such a things. There is no differences. It's all based on your experiences, your expertise, and where like what you can add value. That's it. So there is no such a thing as, you know, like a differences in the salary or something like that. So one of the things is equal opportunity. So it's just like UAE, the guarantees equal rights and opportunities for both men and women, and legal frameworks encourages that. It's very much about the gender equality, which I talk about it. Like we really don't need to fight for that over here because it is already equal for both parties, you know. So also for the business ownership, women in the UAE, they can establish their own businesses and they can run it, and they have all right to be like a own women-owned like establishments, and all of us, we are just somehow showing that we can do it. Obviously, access to capital. So as myself and all of my other fellow panel speakers, we already mentioned that government has lots of initiatives and lots of things with the financial institutions to make sure that, you know, that female business owners, they are getting the access that they needed. UAE has actually the Emirati Women's Day, which is, it's about only Emirati women. Like it's literally like celebrating. Obviously, we have like International Women's Day, but this is specifically for Emiratis because it's also part of their initiative. So that's another thing. Intellectual property rights. So any kind of intellectual property right, you can have your you know, your own trademarks, copyrights, and everything. For female business owners definitely is there as well. And family law reforms, which is actually, I really love that part because I've been through that and I see it with my eyes. I've witnessed that the changes that it was really helping the female in kind of, because UAE has introduced law reforms that have positively impacted in women's rights. So in kind of such divorce or custody or like any kind of legal things, that you have the same you know, equal rights as male in any sort of law in the recent years, which is very much appreciated. I really appreciate it. I've witnessed the whole things and whole changes, positive changes, and it's definitely improving a lot. So workforce regulations, as a female, as a woman in general, entrepreneur, employee, whatever, I feel very safe in the UAE.
Absolutely.
I'm in the
street.
Yes, exactly. In the street, at work, anywhere, any time of the day. So specifically because they're really considering that. So it's for me, it's the safest country in the world because really I witnessed that within the last 15 years that no one at the workplace can do any harm to me because the law very much protecting me, protecting any kind of women at workplace. So definitely this one is also very strictly existed, this law. So there are lots of also you know, other supportive initiatives that, you know, UAE to empowering women, they actually put it in their law, making sure that it is already existed, just in case if we wanted to, you know, if we go through any sort of things that we needed our protection, you know. So like again, also very much mentorship programs, which most of them, by the way, are free. So, and it's there, you can just reach out and you can just do the research and you can start it to, you know, gain some sort of knowledge about that, which is fantastic things that they
Thank
do.
you, Pega. The thing is that we have a clock bound thing. I want to
Sure.
speak with you guys forever, but I'm
Yeah.
like on the constraint of timing here. So we have 5 more minutes left for this session, and we would have a small conclusion story. Dr. Hanan, in just 2 minutes, if it's very like, we can make it very fast as well. What comes to your mind? Is there like a small notable success stories of women entrepreneurs around you in the UAE? Can you like summarize it in just 2 minutes so that like it just gives inspiration to other women? That's what we are doing here today. We are trying to inspire women and tell them, hey, you can do it. So Hanan, do you have any such story like where you can just highlight a small success story of an entrepreneur in your locality or around you?
Oh, yes, I do actually. But I do want to mention that there is still a lack of representation and role models for, you know, a lot of the women, and they need to be highlighted. And I actually, there's a scarcity of visible female role models that can create a sense of some isolation for women, that they can do it too. And like you said, it's very important that we highlight and we bring these success stories that, quite frankly, not only in the UAE, but on an international level. And I actually have quite a couple, and it's Raha Al-Gorj, which is part of the Isa Saleh Al-Gorj group. Raha Al-Gorj is also a prominent Emirati businesswoman and the managing director of Isa Saleh Al-Gorj group. Under her leadership, the group has diversified its business interests and expanded across multiple sectors. I mean, we spoke a minute ago about, you know, certain sectors like industrial or construction and real estate. Actually, she has actually broke all that mold and went and, you know, created that success in those sectors as well, and has been recognized internationally for her contributions to business and women's empowerment. Sheikha Lubna Al-Qasimi from the TCOM group. Sheikha Lubna Al-Qasimi is a trailblazing Emirati businesswoman and politician. She is one of the amazing women that has served as the UAE's Minister of State of Tolerance, Minister of State for International Cooperation. Sheikha Lubna Al-Qasimi was the first woman to hold a ministerial post in the UAE, and has played a significant role in promoting entrepreneurship and empowering women in the country. Sara Bayudi, and I wanted to highlight also that it's not just Emirati women that are having these success stories in UAE, but expats as well, and Sara is no exception. She's actually a Lebanese entrepreneur based in the UAE and the founder of Sara's Bag, a renowned fashion accessories brand. The company creates unique handcrafted bags while also providing, and this is why I wanted to also highlight Sara, is because she gives opportunities for unprivileged women.
Excellent.
As well as also having a social impact. And gaining actual international recognition, and has been recognized for her social entrepreneurship efforts.
Like I said, Dr. Hanan, we can all sit here, and I'm so sure if we start jotting down how many women, it doesn't matter, not only as an entrepreneur, how many women around us have had that impact on us in one way or another. They're all trailblazers. So guys, we would be concluding this session.
Thank you.
Dr. Hanan, Agnes, Pega, you guys have been incredible for the panel. Thank you so much for joining. And in the end, I would just conclude with one thing. The only person who can stop you is you.
Yes.
So if you want to do it, just go for it. As women, I know that there will be challenges. Yes, there will be boulders, but there will be women like us who will always support you, who will be there for you. And you would see in your mother, sister, friends, they will support you. So it doesn't have to be the network comes from, oh, the business background. It can come from anywhere. It can come from your kids, your family, your husband, your father. You never know. So do not stop yourself. When you want, you conceive the idea, go for it. And thank you so much, WAF, for giving us this wonderful, excellent platform where we could speak. Like I said, if we could, then we would talk forever. But now we'll have to conclude this session. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And I hope that this helped. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farzana, for your excellent moderation. We are
Thank you,
I have received so many messages from the audience for your the session was excellent.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Mr. Harris. When you speak by the heart, it's just out there.
No, I have already shared one of the message I have already shared to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Hanan, for your excellent performance. Dr. Paga, sorry, Miss Paga, you will become a doctor. So
You never know. He said it, it's out in the universe. Dr. Pega.
anyway,
This was good.
anyway, thank you for your best performance, and also Miss Agnes for your outstanding performance.
Thank you,
Thank
Harris.
you for everybody. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
We
you,
can
everyone,
conclude the
as
session.
well.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Until another time.
Yes.
Inshallah, definitely.
Inshallah. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.